So today I want to talk about two topics. One of them is what gives ICE the power to go ahead and conduct these ICE raids, detain illegal immigrants off the streets. The other one is about the bounty hunters. How true is it the bounty hunters are being used to enforce immigration laws? So to start off with, what gives immigration, ICE, the power to go ahead and conduct these raids to detain illegal immigrants in courts, outside of courts, parks, streets, stuff like that? Because we all seen the videos and we all hear the people yelling, "Show us the warrant." So I wanted to look into it myself. I wanted to see what actually gives the power to ICE agents to conduct these detentions, to arrest these illegal immigrants while they're coming out of court. Because it does look dramatic. And the news media is going to give you some details about the individual's case, but will give you a full-blown, in-depth detail about the individual's life and his family. Because the narrative is separating families. That's the narrative that gets people emotional. So I was looking this up. What I was able to find that under 1357A, Title 8, the Attorney General tells them, go ahead, I give you the power to do your job with no restraints. You can go ahead and approach people, talk to people, detain them if you must, with no warrant. So they have that power to go ahead and just come up to somebody and just talk to them to see if they're U.S. citizens. How they determine that, I don't know. But the law is that they have the right of what they're doing without no warrant, as long as it's in a public setting. When it comes to a private setting, obviously, they have to present a warrant. Just like the one that happened in Ventura County at the marijuana plants. They had a search warrant. What did they find? About 316 illegal immigrants and 14 underage kids. So all these arrests that we're seeing in the streets, that we're seeing in the parks, that we're seeing in the courthouse, they actually have the power to go ahead and do that. You might not like it, but that is the law. Now, with that little bit of insight, I think it sounds pretty dumb when you say, show me a warrant. You're just pulling up outside and you're seeing that they're arresting somebody and you're just yelling, show me a warrant. To begin with, that's dumb to just yell it out. Because even if they did have a warrant, that warrant does not pertain to you. Meaning they're not going to show you jack diggity squat. Now knowing that ICE actually has a power by the Attorney General to go ahead and conduct these detentions without no warrant in public settings, then yes, keep yelling, show me a warrant makes no sense. It's pretty stupid where you keep saying, show me a warrant when they're conducting business. They're enforcing immigration laws by the Attorney General without no warrant in public settings. I know it's traumatizing that you see these people getting arrested left and right, especially when they're going to court. You're saying, well, why are they getting arrested at court when they're showing up at court? We don't know the details to it. The news media is not going to give you the details of that person's case. What I have read, what I have been able to research is that if they fall under an immigration program, visa, some type of parole, whatever the case is, ICE has the power to yank that program right under them without no reasoning. They can just do so if they overstayed, if they already did more than a year or 2 years, they can just take it right under them before they renew it. So yes, we don't know what's going on in these courts. We don't know the details of this court. What we do know, and what the media will do their best to paint a sad picture for you, is the fact that this individual is being separated from his family. I'm telling you, they're going to give you a full detail of that person's life, but they will not go into no details if it's in any programs, if he has committed any crimes, if this or that. They gotta pull at your heartstrings. So they just need to give you a little bit of detail of why that person was in court and a full-blown detail about the individual's life. Now, when it comes to bounty hunters, what I will say is that Mississippi wrote up a bill having bounty hunters go through a program where it trains them and so on and so forth to enforce immigration laws. Lawmakers don't even believe any of that. They're not going to, it looks like it's just not going to happen. That's out the window pretty much. The other thing that I will say is that a guy named Alvarado Martin, I believe, showed up to Sunnyside, Washington in a council meeting, masked up, talking about that he's a bounty hunter, and that what he was told was the fact that after the first, second, and third wave of immigration, rounding up illegal immigrants, they're going to start contracting bounty hunters to go ahead and help them with these detentions. They'll pay $1,000 to $1,500 an immigrant when they capture them. So that is the guy's claim. The articles that I read, each and every article came down to the conclusion that there's no such evidence that shows that bounty hunters are being used to detain illegal immigrants. Now, my question is, what leads people to believe that bounty hunters are being used? Because I remember the first time I read something about bounty hunters being used with illegal immigrants, it's that lady from LA, the illegal immigrant that fabricated the story that she was kidnapped by masked men believed to be bounty hunters. That's the only time I read anything about bounty hunters being used. And it was in a fabricated story by the lady in the family that orchestrated this false story. So why do people will say bounty hunters are being used? Would even post something within the lines about bounty hunters being used? I can't answer that. What I will say, and an advice that I myself take, is just look into it. Sit down and do a little research. You got time to scroll on your TikTok. You got time to, if you're a smoker, you go out there and smoke. You got time to just blase your time, right? And you want to go ahead and speak something you might not know. So why not look into it? If bounty hunters are being used and people are talking about bounty hunters being used, why not take the time to go ahead and look into it instead of speaking about something you do not know? And this is going for me as well. I looked into this. I wanted to see how true this was about bounty hunters being used. Well, they're not. I also wanted to figure out, well, how much power does immigration have? Obviously, these videos are nonstop of people getting arrested outside the courthouse, on the streets, the park. So what gives them the power to just go ahead and just snatch up random people? I don't believe they're random. I believe they know what they're doing. But overall, they're doing their job. The Attorney General is giving them the go-ahead to conduct their job without no warrant in public places. And that's exactly what they're doing. You can go ahead and check it out. Read it yourself. It's 1357A, Title 8. That will give you pretty much an idea of how ICE is conducting these raids and why are they conducting these raids and how are they able to enforce such laws. It's just an idea. So when you hear people say, show me a warrant, especially if it's in a public setting, yeah, you sound pretty dumb saying that, because that just shows that you don't know anything. Look into it. You might learn something. But I just wanted to talk about this because it's something that needs to be informed. And that's just a little bit of what I've been able to gather. We got to start smarting it up. And I keep saying it. Don't let the media fool you with their lies. Don't let the media try to give you their narrative. Look into it. You hear about it. You're seeing it. Why not sit there and do some little research to see how much truth holds into what you're seeing or what you're being told?